recording too. All right. So tonight we are talking about all natural solutions for health and wellness. And again, this is a completely brand new one. So I'm really excited to share it with you. And if you have any questions as we go along, just throw them in the chat. Someone might be able to even answer your question, but I will also go through at the end and make sure that everyone's questions get answered. Okay, but I can't answer them during the presentation because it would take kind of a long time. Okay, so let's dive right in. And, you're probably here at this class because you have a specific health concern, something that you would like to address. Is it digestive issues? Is it headaches, pain, inflammation, immunity issues? Maybe, I don't want to say that summer is still, we got plenty of summer to enjoy. Do not worry. But we're always conscious of our immune support, right? But especially as we're thinking about the kids going back to school, how do we stay healthy is a big focus. Stress, anxiety, overwhelm. Maybe I have a lot of people that come to me and are just looking for more energy. And they're like, gosh, it's summer. Everyone's doing all these things and I just want to lay in bed. And so that is, totally normal and it's something that can be fixed. Sleep issues, a lot of people struggle with, or blood sugar regulation. Okay. So making sure that we have a balance in there. So these are some things, just be conscious of kind of like and aware of, okay, well, why am I at this class? What am I looking for? What could we solve this so that when I talk about it, you're like, oh yes, this is my pain point. This is my issue. And here I'm going to write this down because this is what's going to pertain to me. Right. And so because we want to address your top concerns in this class. So I'm also at the age that I need reading glasses. So I'm going to put these on because I want to make sure that I read everything correctly. So when we're talking about your health and wellness, and I'm sure that you've noticed this, if you have the TV on at all, or even looking through magazines, there are continuous advertisements that you are being bombarded with of all the things that you could be taking for whatever, with all those health concerns that we just talked about. There is something being thrown at you. Even going through Facebook or Instagram, things like that, like they're so in tune and listening to what you're talking about and your pain points that all of a sudden these things start coming through in your feed that are supposed to help you with your stress, anxiety, your sleep, your immune support, your energy, all that stuff, right? And it's a little bit alarming because the modern approach of the basically synthetic medications that they're encouraging you to take, this is an issue because we're just managing the symptoms. Okay, we're not getting to the root cause of the problem. They're made from isolated synthetic agents. We know that there can be negative side effects on the body, and there was a report that came out. The FDA estimates that 200,000 Americans are hospitalized every year because of overdoses or side effects from anti-inflammatory over-the-counter medication. So this would be like your Advil, let's see, ibuprofen, aspirin, something like that. It's 200,000 Americans that are hospitalized for that. And so that to me is mind-blowing. Either it's something that they didn't take it properly, or they're having negative side effects from it. And like I said, we're never addressing the issue and getting to the root cause of the problem. And we are spending $6.5 trillion every year on global healthcare. And as I listen to people and talk to people, I'm like, are we really any healthier? Are we getting any better? I feel like we're just on this downward spiral. And so that's why I continue to teach these classes. I talk to people all the time, no matter where I am. If I'm at a restaurant or an airplane, it's always fun because they can't walk away from me, right? We're together for a couple hours. But I love just sharing what is possible, especially when we're focusing on how can we stay healthy. All right, there is a natural approach. And I love this because our body and plants speak the same language, so that when we're actually using them, if we're applying them or diffusing them or taking them internally, this is something that our body sees and understands this. Again, they're speaking the same language. So we are getting to the root cause of the problem. Okay, we're never covering up, we're never masking the issue, we don't have any negative side effects, we actually have additional side benefits of using these products. And so again, these are simply extracts from plants. It's what the plant uses to thrive and survive in nature is what we're using for our benefit. Okay. So this is something that not only can you use on a daily basis where we can really focus again on staying healthy. It's much better to be proactive about your health, but also when issues come up, right? There is an answer and a natural solution that you can have in your home right at your fingertips to be able to help to support you. Okay. Is there anything else I want to say about that? No, I think we're ready for the next one. Okay. All right. So, what creates disease in the body? There are three main concerns. Okay. One is nutrient deficiency. And so, this is something that is continuing to be more and more of a basically crisis, is what I call it, because we aren't eating the same way that we used to even 50 years ago because of what is available in drive throughs. I know parents are really busy. I've done it myself where we're picking up from school and we're trying to get to a basketball game or baseball game, whatever it is. You got 30 minutes to try to feed your kid who's starving and you were at work and you didn't have time to, make an amazing meal for them to eat in the car. Let's be realistic. So we're going through the drive through. There isn't a lot of nutritional options, obviously available. And things in the grocery store, even if we are trying to be conscious of that with fruits and vegetables, especially the nutrient, the nutritional value of those fruits and vegetables are not the same as what they were 50 years ago. The soil has been so depleted. We are harvesting earlier and earlier so that they can, these fruits and vegetables can be on trucks and be coming from warmer climates, especially here in Wisconsin. So we do have the luxury of, having a watermelon at Christmas time, but it's traveled such a far way that the nutritional value again is just not the same. So nutrient deficiencies plays a big role. Also, inflammation in the body, and we'll talk about that a little bit, and toxic overload. So everything that we're exposed to, and this is not only just what is outside of the home, but a lot of this occurs right inside the home. So, nutrient deficiencies. This was really staggering to me that the percentage of dietary intakes that are below the estimated average requirement. That is what EAR means. This is in adults 19 or older. The vitamin D. Okay, we're 95% deficient. So 95% of adults that are 19 or older are below that estimated average requirement. Okay, does that make sense? Vitamin E, 94%, magnesium, 61%, vitamin A, 57%, calcium is 49%, vitamin C is 43%. So those are just like the top six ones that I think are really alarming. And, this is something that these are deficiencies that are this is really what our body needs to be able to thrive and survive. It's pretty like vitamin D, oh my gosh, 95%, or vitamin E 94%. It is staggering to me. When we talk about inflammation, things that really impact inflammation or that cause us to have inflammation are sugars. Again, when we talk about what our nutrient deficiencies are or what we're eating, there's just sugars are everywhere. Stress, lack of sleep, those toxins that we'll talk about next. This all has a huge impact on the inflammation in our body. And the inflammation over time, okay, chronic inflammation. A healthy inflammatory response is something that is short term, okay? But chronic inflammation is something that's continuing on and on. And so this is directly related to and leads to things like cardiovascular diseases, headaches, metabolic disease. With metabolic disease, we're talking about like type 2 diabetes, lung diseases, specific types of cancer, mental illnesses, and joint pain. Okay, so this is when we're talking about that chronic inflammation that is just feels like it's continuous in the body. And then the third thing is toxic load. So when we talk about toxic load, these are things that are synthetics that are in the home. Either they're chemicals for cleaning agents, like your home and your personal care. Remember that your skin is a giant sponge. So whatever we're putting on and applying in our skin is getting absorbed into the body. It's our largest organ, and whatever we're putting on the outside actually gets absorbed into the inside. Toxic environments. So whatever we're surrounded by, that's going to have a big impact. Stress, negative thinking, negative relationships, trauma, especially the things that we hold on to for a long period of time. Of course, stress is a normal thing, but when we're talking about these chronic situations that are continuing on and on, this is what is going to start to build up in that toxic load. A toxic load means that it's not the normal amount of stress, or the normal amount of I don't want to say a normal amount of toxins, but there's some things that we just can't get away from, right? Or medications, these things build up in this bucket you can see is completely overflowing. That is when you've hit your toxic load. And you can tell kind of when you are hitting this kind of overload is when you have that kind of brain fog. So that mental clarity isn't quite there. You can't remember things, or you walk into a room and you're like, why am I in here again? Or why did I walk all the way downstairs? I can't remember why. Trouble focusing, trouble sleeping. They talk about the Product Safety Commission tested and found that there were 150 cleaning chemicals linked to ADD, asthma, reproductive problems. We know that they are hormone disruptors and respiratory issues. So this is something that really is directly related to these toxic loads. Okay. So they said this is a point where you're just like at max capacity. So let's talk about supplementation, okay? Something that I think is really important, especially when we talk about all those nutrient deficiencies and what a big role that plays just on how our body can respond. And a good analogy to be able to understand this is, especially if you guys have been at Milligers, you're probably familiar with gardening. And I was just out in my garden today and I was thinking about this. I'm like, gosh, our body is really just like a garden. And before, think about how you are in the springtime, before you plant anything, before you put anything into the ground, we add nutrients and supplementation to the ground, right? We make sure if it's a heavy clay soil, we make sure that we're putting, additives and things to help to lighten up the soil so there's good drainage. Anytime we're putting a plant in there, we're usually adding some fertilizers or some sort of nourishment so that the plant has everything that it needs to be successful in your garden. And it's the same way with your body. Okay. This is the foundation. We would never, buy a plant and then just put it like in a bucket of water and hope that it does okay. We know that it needs the nutrients, and it's the same way with our body. In order for our body to be able to have these, be able to even just be functioning normally and having all of our systems work, we have to have the nutrients that we need. So there's a lot of supplements on the market. I was just at Walgreens yesterday. I was getting some Q-tips, and I happened to walk down an aisle that had just the entire one half of it was dedicated to sleep agents. Okay. All natural things for sleep all over the board. I took a video of it because to me, it was staggering of what is out there. And the FDA detected. Oh, did I read this already? That the FDA detected there? No, I didn't. The FDA, sorry, I got lots of statistics for you. The FDA detected contaminants in 776 dietary supplements produced by, there was 146 different companies that they tested, and 776 of these supplements were contaminated in some way. Okay, that's kind of scary. And they also tested 3 leading memory supplements, and 2 out of the 3 didn't even have the actual active ingredient that they said. It wasn't even in there. Okay, so supplements are not heavily regulated, and so that's why we need to be really careful. Do your research when you are looking at like what can supplement, what can support your body, because there is a lot of junk on the market. So something like Lifelong Vitality, this is my absolute favorite product from doTERRA. It's an actual supplement system. All right. It has gotten more people off of their over-the-counter medications and prescription medications than any other doTERRA product. Okay. So just by taking this, and again, we're focusing on that foundation, is so important. And it covers all 3 of those deficiencies that we were talking about: the nutrient deficiency, the inflammation, the toxic load. This covers everything. It is a whole food supplement, which means that is going to be 95% metabolized by your body. So you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. The standard usually with supplements is about 20 to 30% bioavailability or absorption by your body. So the lifelong vitality is going to be 95%, which I think is staggering. So the Microplex VMZ, this is something that is going to be 12 servings of your fruits and vegetables. So you're getting supporting your healthy immune function. Let me let somebody in here 1 second. Okay. The E-omegas, this is your omega-3, 6, and 9s. And this is really addressing that inflammation. So we're helping to support your joints, your cardiovascular, and your brain health. And then the alpha CRS. This has very powerful antioxidants that reduce that oxidative stress and helping to eliminate that toxic load in the body. So we're supporting that healthy cell function. Okay. Again, that's that foundation of your health. It's really filling your bucket now with all the proper nutrients instead of that toxic overload. And this is a system, it comes all three together. And you take, when you first start off, you're going to take one of each in the morning and one of each at night. And then you'll increase up to taking two of each in the morning and two of each at night. And people are like, well, that's a lot of pills. I don't know if I can take all that. But the reason why is because they are so much more bioavailable and because it's a whole food product. Okay. It's a whole food supplement. So you are able to be, when it's in that capsule, then you're taking it. It's much easier on your digestive system for you to absorb it that way. If you take one of those like 1-a-day pills or something like that, those are just really hard calcified rocks that your body spends so much time on trying to actually break it down to absorb any of those nutrients, that you're, again, down to 20 to 30% of the absorption rate on those supplements. So they did a 60-day clinical trial with the Lifelong Vitality. Okay, subjects took the Lifelong Vitality supplement for 2 months and just continued with their normal diet and exercise. They didn't change anything else. They didn't start, changing their diet or ramping up their workouts. They were just like, okay, live your life like normal, how your day to day is, and just take the Lifelong Vitality. And there was statistically significant improvement in the blood lipids, fasting insulin, the cardiovascular biomarkers, reduced triglyceride levels in the blood, cellular inflammation. There was positive effects on the biochemical indicators of cardiovascular health, antioxidants, again, inflammation, and that blood glucose regulation. So we're really focused and being conscious here of how our body and really avoiding those big glucose spikes, okay? And then there was overall improvement with mental clarity, energy, motivation, motor control or like memory, balance, and overall happiness. In fact, this product actually has a 30-day money-back guarantee that if you don't have more energy during the day, better sleep at night, less aches and pains, and better mood management, you can return the empty bottles at the end. So that's how confident we are in this product. It makes a huge difference, okay? And then these are two other really great supplements that I think is a great to kind of layer in for additional support. PB Restore, this is our pre and probiotic. So it's really important to make sure that we have a healthy microbiome in our body. Okay, when we're filling our body and our intestines with good, healthy microflora and good bacteria, there's no room for the bad bacteria. And, I'm sure you've heard the term probiotics, but this one is special and unique because it's double encapsulated, which means it's a pre and probiotic. A prebiotic means that it's actually starting to go to work in the stomach. And then because it's double encapsulated and protected, then the stomach acidity isn't breaking down this probiotic so it can actually get into the intestines and get that healthy microflora and healthy bacteria into the intestines where it can protect. Okay, where we can protect against that bad bacteria. So I take one of these every morning. I feel like that is the best time to take this. And then the Terrazyme, this is something I take with my meals. It has 10 natural enzymes in it that actually help to break down your food so that you can absorb your nutrients better, and convert those nutrients into cellular energy. So it puts a lot less stress on the body. And anybody who struggles with like, oh gosh, every time I eat, I feel like I need to go take a nap, or I get a gut ache, or I never do well with, pizza, or I can't eat this, I can't eat that. Terrazyme is a wonderful answer and solution for that, because it takes all that wear and tear on all of that work for the body to be able to just be able to digest properly. Okay. All right. So let's talk about diabetes and sugar. Okay. And now, just for fun, throw in the chat, what percentage has diabetes cases increased in America since 1960? Like, what percentage do you think in diabetes cases? Like, it's obviously been on the rise since 1960. Let me know what you think the percentage is. Let me read the chat here and see. Anyway, about 50%, 70%. Anyone else want to take a guess? Huh. It's actually 700%. All right, that's the percentage of the increase in diabetes cases since 1960. It's 700%. And they say, how long, here's another good question, a little trivia for you. How long does it take the average American to consume the same amount of sugar that our ancestors from 200 years ago would consume in an entire year? Okay, so we're consuming sugar, they're consuming sugar, they're consuming that sugar an entire year. And how do we compare right now? Like how much time? Because it's definitely less than a year. Anybody want to guess? One day. Yeah, well, almost. It's 2 weeks. Okay. So 2 weeks of our sugar consumption is equal to a year from our ancestors 200 years ago. Okay. So sugar is definitely a struggle. And I'm sure you guys see it. It's everywhere. Right. And I think that it's been promoted and advertised to make you feel good. And it's this energy, right? It's this high, it's the happiness, and it's the small indulgence, that kind of thing. But it wreaks havoc on the body and is a major factor, especially in inflammation. So we have discovered that only 6.8% of the US population has actual optimal cardiometabolic health. Okay, so this was a National Health and Nutrition Examination survey. It was like over 55,000 people aged 20 years or older, and only 6.8% have optimal cardiometabolic health. What that means is your body can function on its own, that everything, all your numbers are correct. We don't have issues with blood pressure or cholesterol or digestive issues, or I talk to so many people now that are basically borderline type 2 diabetic, right? And what can we do about it? Oh, I just ate an ice cube. All right, sorry. So we have something called the MetaPower metabolic system. And I'm not going to go into the entire system. There is a class for that. I teach on it like once a month. I have the recording available. The system works beautifully and synergistically together. But the whole goal of MetaPower is it addresses the cellular repair. So we're focusing on anti-aging. We're working on that blood sugar regulation. So we're working on, helping to flatten that curve. So like when we eat something that is high sugar or eat something that is high carbohydrate, we have a glucose spike. And that glucose spike releases oxidative stress into our system. Okay. And that oxidative stress ages us. It puts a lot of wear and tear on the body. And so we want to flatten that curve. And that's what MetaPower does. It also inhibits fat cell maturation. So it's protecting our fat cells. Okay. When you gain weight, you don't gain more fat cells. Your fat cells just actually kind of expand and get bigger like a balloon. Okay. And this is the only party that you're at that you don't want big blown up balloons. We want the after party of the shriveled up small ones. And that is what it does. It protects your fat cells from blowing up and getting bigger. So again, it's an entire system. It works incredible. Trying to think how I can do this. It's a whole other class. Okay. So if you want the recording, just let me know. But these are some amazing testimonies from it. So this woman, it was just within a little less than 4 months of, you can see the huge changes, hardly recognizable, right? And it's for men too. Because like, oh, is this just for women? No, it's for men also. And this gentleman not only looks significantly healthier, right? But his blood work after 3 weeks of taking MetaPower, he had a 40-point decrease in cholesterol, a 25-point decrease in his LDL and his blood work, and a 57-point decrease in his triglycerides. Okay. And that's just within 3 weeks of using this. I can tell you other people report that they have better eyesight, more energy, less pain. It also helps with sleep, skin, hair growth, mood, skin elasticity, strength in the body. This was a woman who went to the doctor, and like anytime she bumped into something, she would always get these spots on her arm. I'm sure you've seen people with that. And this is within 4 months of taking it, and you can see how her arm has cleared up. This is me. Okay, I'll put myself out there. And when you take this, I would recommend taking pictures. You don't have to like put them online or advertise them, but I do think it's really important to be conscious and aware and know what's happening, because sometimes it can be a slower change where you're like, I never knew that I looked like this. Okay, that's what I look like at 7:30 in the morning with no makeup on. And my skin color is just kind of like this yellow color. You can see a lot of darkness, dark circles underneath my eyes. They're kind of baggy. I look kind of mean. If you know me, I'm not a mean person. And then this was month 2, and you can just see the change, that skin elasticity, right? And my skin is starting to fill out. I have a healthier glow. I think I'm just overall happier. But you can see the coloration. You can see that the eyes significantly look different. And then this is month 4. So you can see that there's a change there. I don't do any Botox or anything like that with my skin at all. So my wrinkles are my wrinkles. I'm okay with them. But I want to do something naturally. So this is with me taking the MetaPower, the collagen, which is one thing that makes the biggest difference. And here you can see the difference too. And just the skin's, the texture and the elasticity was the biggest change that I noticed. So this is the advantage. This is like where if someone's like, I don't know if I can start the whole system, but I want to start somewhere. This is really where it's at, because this is the collagen. So there's 9 different types of collagen in here. There's also an energy molecule called NMN. And again, this is helping with our healthy mitochondria. So you're feeling more energy throughout the day. By the age of 25, this is when our collagen and our NMN production starts to go down. We're still producing it. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the body, but there's a decrease over time. Okay, so by taking the advantage, this is something, it has a lemon orange flavor. It tastes great, super easy. I just made a quick little video just to show you how to take it. So when you get started, I always make sure people have the video, they know how to take it on a regular basis. But this is helping with that, promoting that healthy biological aging. Okay, biological aging is meaning that you are living healthier longer. Okay, sometimes you see people, they're the exact same age, and one looks like the fountain of youth, and one looks like they've been through the ringer, right? If you've been at a high school graduation, or even looking on Facebook, or even running into them at the grocery store, somebody, you're like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. And then someone else, you're like, ooh, like, are we really the same age? And that has to do with your biological age. They say the average American spends the last 14 years of their life in declining health and have difficulty completing those everyday tasks. And so we want to do something where we can actually help you to be able to live younger, longer, so that we don't have that 14, end of your years where there's really no quality of life. That is just hard on everyone and frustrating. So this activates those longevity genes. It improves cognitive function. It supports lean muscle and connective tissue and that skin elasticity and firmness. So there's also resveratrol in here, hyaluronic acid, liposomal vitamin C. These are all good anti-aging ingredients in here, okay? And just to compare with it, you can see again, first of all, it's marine-based source collagen. There's 9 different types of collagen in here. Everything has been tested for heavy metals. We have 70% tripeptide form. And what that means is that when you are taking this collagen, it's going to be 12 times more bioavailable than any other collagen on the market. So you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. You're going to absorb it much better and feel the impacts much quicker. Okay. So being that it's in tripeptide form, I think of it, okay, think of it as like a hamburger. Instead of trying to eat the entire hamburger all at once, it's broken down into smaller bite-sized pieces so that when you're consuming it, your body isn't trying to work so hard to break down this large chunk of food. It's already been broken down. So your body doesn't have to go through the work of digesting it. It can actually just metabolize it and start benefiting and getting absorbed into the bloodstream right away. So we have 11 other powerful ingredients. I mentioned some of those. It's going to be targeting, of course, collagen we know is really powerful for skin and joints, but this also is going to help with your energy. It's going to help with your immune support, your digestive system, your sleep, cognitive thinking, all of those things. There's nothing artificial in here, so there's no sugars, and the cost per serving is super affordable. So again, this is a one-time-a-day thing, but you can get a comparison here of other products, okay, that people have compared it to. Okay, so those are, and I completely reverse this class. So if you see me teach a class, I usually always talk about the oils first and then the supplementation. But as I was in my garden, I was thinking like, oh, this is so important to understand that we have to have that foundation of health and wellness. And then we can start to layer in the essential oils, right? And actually, when our body is functioning and metabolizing properly, I don't know if you can hear all that. My husband's actually cleaning the garage at the same time I'm doing this video. I'm like, really? Right now? Okay, so I'll just keep powering through. But where was I with that? Oh, yeah. So once our body is functioning properly and we're able to, all the systems are in place, we have the nutrients that we need, you are actually going to be able to get a better benefit of your essential oils because we can metabolize them much better when we are functioning optimally. Okay. So let's jump into the oils, the fun part. The Roseman University, okay, of Health Sciences did this education. They did a study on doTERRA oils compared to other essential oils on the market. And doTERRA oils were found to be therapeutically relevant in cell growth and rejuvenation. They supported our metabolic health and were very supportive in healthy inflammatory responses. They stated that essential oils, these are essential oils from different competitors, had minimal effects. I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. Essential oils from different competitors had minimal effects. Okay, there's a big reason for that, and that is because the effectiveness of the essential oil is highly dependent on the complete composition of the oil, the sourcing of the oil, the processing of the oil, and the characterization is critical. So let me explain that a little bit further. Okay, so when they're talking about the doTERRA difference and the fact that our oils have no fillers. Nothing's been added, nothing's been taken away. There's no synthetic ingredients, no dilution, okay? A lot of junk on the market. Again, this is something that is not heavily regulated by the FDA. They only require a bottle of like peppermint to have, I think it's like 5% peppermint, and the rest can be filled with different fillers, a coconut oil, it can be diluted down, and it's not going to have the same impact. This is 100% pure peppermint oil. These are from plants grown in their ideal environments. So that's another thing that is unique to doTERRA. We are sourcing our oils from over 45 different countries. And the reason why that's important to us is because we are focused on sourcing those oils where the plants grow best in nature. When we extract the oils from plants where they're growing happily, indigenously, where they really thrive and survive in nature, the oils are going to be much more potent and much more effective. You're going like a little bit is going to go a long way. because we have that ideal chemistry, we have that consistency. We do over 54 tests to ensure the purity and the potency of every single bottle. You can actually look at the bottom of your bottle, and there will be a code there. You can go right to the website to, there's a little section called Source to You, and you can put this code in, and it will tell you all the testing of this one bottle. So we're really transparent about that. With doTERRA, you can use these topically. You can use them aromatically, so put them in the diffuser. You can use them even aromatically, like you can put them in your hair and the smell gets released into the air. And you can take these internally. So you just look on the side of the bottle. If it says supplemental facts, that means it's safe to ingest. You wouldn't want to do that with any other essential oil on the market. It probably could make you pretty sick. But because of our purity and our potency, it's something that is safe to do. My gosh, I was checking to see what time it is and my watch was upside down. I was like, I don't even know what time that is. Okay, so we'll talk about that safety with doTERRA. Again, here you can see a little bit better of what the supplemental facts means. And so this is going to be 1 drop. So any oil that you're putting in, like your water especially, I always have a drop of water in here. You only want to do this with glass or stainless steel because it will, the oils will actually break down plastic. So don't put it in a plastic cup or a plastic water bottle. The oils are actually designed to reduce that toxic load in our body. And a lot of that is connected to the plastics that we're exposed to, especially plastic water bottles, because that plastic is so thin that anytime those plastic water bottles, if you leave them in the car, they get exposed to heat or extreme conditions, or the crunching of them, the squeezing of them, that plastic inevitably gets leached out into the water. You're drinking it. It's a foreign substance. Our body doesn't really know how to cleanse or get rid of it. And adding citrus to your water and drinking that throughout the day will help to eliminate all those phytochemicals and toxins. You'll almost feel that release of that toxic load and start to notice a better mental clarity. So our oils are 100% pure. There's no risk of addiction. I'm a little addicted to my oils. I will admit it. I would never leave the house without them, but do you know what I mean? It's a good addiction. It's a good thing. All of our oils have that CPTG standard. We have that guaranteed transparency. Again, you can go right to the website. It will tell you everything about the oils that you purchased. They are safe to be ingested. And of course, they're all plant-based. There's no fillers. Nothing's been added. Nothing's been taken away. So this we wanted to show because this was someone who actually had doTERRA products, but she was out of lavender and she wanted to give her granddaughter some lavender oil. I think she got a mosquito bite and she put just some other knockoff oil on her granddaughter, and it actually caused a burn. And it was there for a long time. And this was from using some random lavender that she bought. Okay. And so they didn't have the testing, they didn't have that efficacy, they didn't have that safety. So it does make a difference of the oil that you are using. And they're going to be very affordable. So again, because of their purity and their potency, these are not salt and pepper shakers. We're going to do 1 to 2 drops per application. So something like On Guard, this is our protective blend for immune support. That's 15 cents a drop. Frankincense is 31 cents a drop. Lemon, again, 1 drop in my water, that's 6 cents. Oregano, this is nature's most powerful antibiotic, that's 11 cents. Tea trees, 10 cents. It's amazing. I mean, I can clean my house with On Guard and tea tree literally for about 50 cents, okay? Peppermint, another great one, 10 cents. These bottles that I'm showing you here, there's 250 drops per bottle, 1 to 2 drops per application because of their purity and potency. So know that they're going to be really affordable. Little bit's going to go a long way. It's an adjustment because people want to feel like more is more, right? And just want to put like and you don't need to do that. So when you're applying topically, another good way to really help your oils to stretch is make sure that you're using a fractionated coconut oil. Fractionated means this is a coconut oil here. I'm sure you've seen coconut oil at like the grocery store. Fractionated means that all the fats have been pulled out. So it's always in liquid form. So when I mix and I'm going to be applying like lavender topically to my body or to my skin, I'm going to mix it with the coconut oil. My ratio is 3 to 1. 3 drops of the coconut oil, 1 drop of lavender. You can cover a much larger surface area, and it's also going to give the oil weight. Okay, so it's going to stay localized for a longer period of time. And it's also going to protect the skin against any kind of skin sensitivities when you mix it in and layer it in with that coconut oil. So I strongly recommend adding that coconut oil and making sure you have that on hand in your order. And they're also going to be really effective, especially when we're talking about On Guard. So this is a little diagram of your cell. And there's two things that can harm your cell. One is bacteria, one is viruses. Bacteria lives on the outside of the cell. Viruses live on the inside of the cell, okay? When we get sick, we go to the doctor. If it's a bacterial infection, they can usually prescribe something that will clear up that infection with about 7 to 10 days. We know there's negative side effects of that, right? But it does clear up the infection. The bad thing about it, and one of the biggest, I guess, struggling side effects of it is when you take an antibiotic, it doesn't know what is good bacteria and bad bacteria. So it actually goes through and just like pow, 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 like kills off all the bacteria. So you're completely stripped of your immune support. It's getting rid of the bad bacteria, but it's also eliminating the good bacteria. That's why they always say, oh, make sure that you take, a probiotic. We want to help to build up your healthy bacteria back up in your body because you just stripped everything out of it. And so that is a big concern for me. I always that is my last resort to take an antibiotic. If you go to the doctor and they say you have a virus, they usually can't prescribe anything. And that's because they will tell you just basically go home, get lots of rest, drink lots of fluids, let nature take its course. And that's because your cell has this nice oily membrane that protects it, okay? The oily membrane, also, it makes it very difficult for any prescription because the prescriptions that they prescribe are water-based synthetics, and they don't have the ability to penetrate through that powerful oily cellular membrane. And so they can't get at that virus. But when we're using essential oils, they can not only stop the replication of bacteria living on the outside of the cell, but they can also penetrate that oily cell membrane because they're an oil and stop the replication of viruses on the inside. Okay, my favorite go-tos for this especially is, well, gosh, all of these are great, but On Guard, frankincense, oregano, tea tree, those are really powerful in helping with immune support. Oh, here we are in immune support. I just read them all off. Okay, oregano. We talked about this one a little bit. Great for bacterial infections, viral infections, warts or skin tags, athlete's foot, strep throat, anything like that. Tea tree. This is another one that's really supportive for ear infections or stinky armpits. If you're like, gosh, no matter what, whatever deodorant I use, or my feet always stink, or my armpits stink, tea tree is a great one. Blemishes, acne, cold sores, cuts, wounds, all those things. These are the ones that are going to be all antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic. On Guard, remember, it's going to battle for you. So we have things like rosemary and eucalyptus in here, clove, cinnamon, wild orange, and all 5 of those work together synergistically to support your immune system. You can also use for like a sore throat. I'll do a drop in a shot glass, fill it up with some water, gargle with it. You can either spit it out or swallow it. The On Guard's one that's safe to ingest, or put a drop in your tea, whatever it may be that works best for you. Cold, flu, cough, oral health, any of those things, On Guard. We even have like an amazing On Guard mouthwash and toothpaste for this very reason. And frankincense, you guys, Frank is going to be your best friend. That is king of oils. It is going to be helping to, it's very regenerative, so it's promoting healthy cell development. It's great for meditation, scars, wrinkles, anything skin. It's incredible for. So we have frankincense all the time. My daughter just had a major surgery, and the scar on her neck was like from here to here. And so we used, and we still use it. She's still using frankincense because it's going to take about a year to heal. And just uses frankincense on a regular basis, and it's healing so well. We just went back to Children's Hospital in June, and the doctor was so impressed. So I got to give him my little essential oil, little spiel. Okay, so this is replacing your medicine cabinet. Okay, so again, these are kind of all your top heavy hitters, ones that you don't want to miss, that you want to make sure that you have on hand, because you don't want to just have like, oh, a bottle of peppermint or a bottle of wild orange. We want to make sure that we have everything that you need for whatever comes up in the home, whether it's you or your children, your family, whatever it may be. You will feel completely empowered because you have these natural tools right at your fingertips. They will be your first line of defense. Lavender, we know to be calming. Of course, it's going to be great for really supporting with sleep, but also any kind of skin issues. Just remember calming. It's going to also calm the skin. So cuts, bumps, scrapes, bruises, burns, bee stings, bug bites, anything like that, lavender is going to be really supportive. Lemon, I talked about a little bit as far as the detoxification. It's also a mood booster. Any citrus oil is going to be happy and bright. It also helps to eliminate mucus in the body. So I had someone who was like, she said, every day or every morning I wake up and I'm just all like stuffy and I always hack up these big loogies and I don't know what's wrong. Like it's so frustrating. All we did was have her use lemon, and she put lemon in her water, and then she would put a drop of lemon actually under her tongue, and this actually helped her. She doesn't have that issue at all anymore. She came up and hugged me. It was a total game changer. And the lemon is different than like a lemon, actual like lemon that you see. Okay, this lemon is actually coming from the rind, not the juice. And so that means that it's not going to be acidic. It's actually going to be alkaline. It's going to help to make your body more alkaline. The more alkaline your body is, the better it can fight disease. And so this actually, it takes 75 lemons to make this one bottle, okay? Because they're using just the rind, not the juice. So you don't have to worry about it eating away at your enamel or upsetting your stomach or, with the stomach acidity. It's actually going to help with any kind of acid reflux or anything like that. Peppermint is bright and happy. It's very energetic, helping with focusing. Any rise in temperature, it's going to be very helpful. So especially in summer, this is a great one to have on hand. You can put it in a little spray bottle with some water, naturally cool down the body. And headaches too. Any kind of tension, any kind of muscle tension or tightness, this is going to be great. DigestZen does exactly that. Any kind of digestive relief, everything from the mouth to the south is what you're going to be using DigestZen for. And Breathe. Breathe does just that. It's our respiratory one. It's going to help to open up the airways, helping with anything, any kind of heaviness in the chest. It's great to diffuse at night. I say it's a wonderful marriage saver because it helps with snoring. And then pain and inflammation. So Deep Blue is an absolute must, and it is so popular. We have it in several forms and methods of delivery. We have it in the supplementation. So this can be designed to basically replace any of those anti-inflammatory synthetics. The Deep Blue oil itself, there's a rub, so it's basically a cream. There's a stick, and the stick I really like. It looks like a deodorant stick. It's super easy to use. It has the addition of copaiba in it, okay? And copaiba is an amazing oil that really helps with that inflammation, okay? So it's anti-inflammatory. It actually increases the effectiveness of other oils, so it's making them kind of just kicking it up a notch. It strengthens our immune system. It's actually a great CBD replacement. And the Deep Blue itself is going to help with any kind of muscle, back, joint pain, arthritis, rheumatism, gout, bruising, swelling, growing pains, broken bones, sprains, anything like that. You're going to use Deep Blue. We have great oils for emotional support. These are my top three. Balance is a great one. This is helping with, it's our grounding blend, okay? So just helping to kind of calm everything down. Adaptive is probably my top fave right now. I actually take the supplement every morning. And this is our calming blend. So helping with anxiety, moodiness, mental fatigue, anything like that. Lately, I've been feeling like, when you're like your phone or your computer basically says it's just maxed out, like it can't take any more information, or you can't even add one more photo because it's just totally, the memory is full. That's how I've been feeling lately. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot take on one more thing. So I've been using the adaptive, and it really supports with that mental fatigue. Serenity, this is our restful blend. So any kind of restlessness, any sleep issues, even fussy babies, this is a really good one. And I just want to wrap it up and say, like, There's not a day that goes by that I do not talk about how grateful I am to have doTERRA in my life. I have been able to wean myself off of several medications that I knew had really negative side effects, and I didn't want to live that way anymore. And as I started to incorporate it into my daily routine and all the things that we've been able to kind of cleanse from our home. My children have grown up with this now. They're teenagers, one's in her 20s. It's so great to see them learn from our behavior. So they're much more in tune with their health and wellness. They see those warning signs. They're much more proactive about, like, okay, I'm not feeling right. What should I use? They have their own collection of oils, and everybody's different. And that's what I love about it, is that there's no cookie cutter way to incorporate doTERRA into your life. It's what works with your body. Everybody's different. We all have different chemistry, but there's always an answer. There's always a solution and something that you can incorporate naturally. And so that's why I love to do this. I love to teach classes, because it's really important for me to be able to kind of pull back that curtain or open that door to let people see what is really possible and how to live a life a little bit more simplified, and to really be proactive about your health and connecting back with nature, and being aware of the fact that God put these tools and these plants on earth for a reason. I'm a horticulturist. I went to school for horticulture. I understand plants, I understand their biology. And it's just amazing to me how we can use them continually to be able to support our own health and wellness. And so, if you're wondering how to get oils in your home, I know some of you who are on here right now, you're like, I've got them, I'm loving them, I'm using them. And that's so great. With doTERRA, it's one of the best ways to get oils in your home, because you can actually get them at a wholesale price. So you will always get 25% off of the retail. I never let anybody pay retail for their oils. Just get them at the wholesale price. Just get them 25% off below the retail. When you use a link, either from me or someone who invited you to this call, there's no membership fee. That $35 membership fee is waived. You can either pick and choose which products tonight spoke to you, that you're like, okay, I know I need this and this. I just want to start with that, right? That's my biggest pain point is sleep. I want to focus on that. Totally fine. We can do that. We can customize it just for you. Or you can get something where it's actually below wholesale. And when we pick one of the starter kits, that's one of the best ways to be able to get a little bit deeper discount, okay? Because it's bundled together. We put everything all together for you already. And so that kind of just makes it easy, okay? So a couple kits that I recommend. The Healthy Start Kit. This is a great way to kind of dip your toe into doTERRA. And so this gets you a little diffuser so you can get comfortable with diffusing your oils into your home. And those top 10 oils that we talked about tonight, they're in a smaller, they aren't like this big bottle, 250 drops. They are 85 drops. Okay. So you can try those ones. And then remember, you'll have a wholesale account. So you'll be able to log into doTERRA with your email and your password. It will unlock those wholesale prices. And you can, if you're using a lot of lavender or peppermint or On Guard, then you can just order back into those specific ones that you're using on a regular basis. But at least this way, it covers all the bases, right? You're completely empowered in your home for whatever situation comes up. You have an oil for that. You can also layer in and add to this. So remember, I talked about the coconut oil, how important that is, or the deep blue stick. Any items that you add to your order, you're also going to get at that discounted price. Another great one is, I don't even know how it started doing this crazy somersaulting into here, but the Healthy Habits Kit. Okay, so this is the other kit I recommend. These are the two that I am in love with, because this has that lifelong vitality in it. This has like a little bit of everything. So it has the lifelong vitality, it has the PB Assist, the Terrazyme, it has the Deep Blue Rub, and some different oils. So the On Guard's in here, the tangerine is in here, the lavender, balance, and frankincense. Okay. So you get a little bit of everything. You could add the Advantage if you wanted to. This one's $225 for the Healthy Habits Kit. Or remember, we can make your own starter kit. You can pick and choose. If you're like, I just want to do the lifelong vitality and the collagen, totally fine. right? Or I just want to start with Lifelong Vitality or the Deep Blue Stick, whatever it is, we can customize it and make it exactly for what you need and what you desire. Okay, so when you get started this week, if you don't have a wholesale account yet and we set up your account, I will actually give you a free bottle of peppermint when you set up your order. Okay, in your little welcome packet, always make sure you have a good reference book, and I'm going to make sure that you get a bottle of peppermint, which is perfect for this time of year because it's so nice and cooling. This is my cell phone where you can text me, and we can just start that conversation going of what is it that you need, what is it that spoke to you tonight that really intrigues you, right? Where do we want to focus on your health and wellness? Because it can be really overwhelming if you're trying to like work on all the things at once, especially if you're new to essential oils. But if we can tackle like your biggest pain points and then start to just get comfortable with the journey and the daily routine, it'll make a big difference. Okay. And this is something that is really cool. So if you are interested in this, okay, you can put all these top 10 oils right in this awesome little keychain. And I give these to anybody who wants to host a class. So anybody who's like, gosh, I loved this class. I would love to do this with my family and friends. I think most of you are all in the area, and I love and much prefer to do in-person classes because wouldn't it be so great while we're talking right now to put these oils on and to smell them and try them and experience them. When you have a class, you get this keychain. I recommend having maybe like 5 people at the class. We don't want this to be like 20 people or like a Tupperware party or something like that. I really want to have it to be smaller and more intimate so that we can listen to everybody and what their health concerns are. And so this is a little keychain that goes to anybody who wants to host a class. I've got my calendar available. And for me, that's my biggest goal is how many lives can we impact? How can we make a difference in people's homes? And how can we just help people to live a more natural life? This is my passion. So help me out with that. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing really quick. I'm going to see who is on this call. And I'm going to put your names into the wheel of names. We got Beth, we got Brenda, we've got Colleen, Alice, Carrie, Shirley, and then I've got Kayla and Karen. Okay, so give me 1 second because I don't have a little secretary or anything. But this is really cool. I'm just going to type your names in. Beth and Brenda. Colleen. Alice. Shirley. Shirley and I just became friends on Facebook today. Okay. All right. Let me go back now. If I can do this. Just sharing my screen so you can see my wheel of names. That's so fun. Okay. All right. Here it is. And then this person is going to get a free rollerball. Spinning very slowly. I don't know why. Okay, Shirley, you are the winner. I will connect with you and we will get you your rollerball. Does anyone have any questions? Anything else in the chat? Okay, looks good. Okay, yes, congrats, Shirley. We'll get a custom rollerball for you guys. Okay, well, I'm always available. Obviously, you can tell I love to talk essential oils. So let me know how I can be of best support to you. I'll make sure that this recording gets out, and anything else you need, just let me know, and have a great night.